At first, no one in the arena seemed to notice anything different. Both teams were going through their usual warm-ups, players stretching, sneakers squeaking on the floor, and coaches speaking softly near the bench. To most people watching, it felt like any other international basketball game. But a quick look at the lineup board by the scorers table showed the one thing that changed the whole night. Caitlin Clark was in the starting lineup. The second the announcer called her name, the arena reacted right away. Fans leaped up. Some even laughed in shock because everyone knew what it meant. For weeks, people had been waiting to see what would happen if Clark got the keys from the very start. No short minutes, no careful rotation, just total freedom. Now it was finally happening. On the other side, the New Zealand players gathered tightly while their coach rushed through instructions, pointing toward the floor and laying out the defensive plan. Stay close to the shooters. Pressure the ball. Make every shot tough. It sounded fine on paper. But there was one issue. They had never played against someone like Caitlin Clark, and they were about to understand why so many people had warned them. The referee walked to mid-court. The ball went up. Tip-off. The first play looked harmless. Clark brought the ball up slowly, almost relaxed. She did not hurry, and she did not force anything. She was reading the defense. Two defenders closed in as soon as she crossed half-court. They clearly wanted to stop her from shooting, so Clark gave a quick smile, took one sharp dribble, slid to the side, and fired a pass across the court before anyone could react. Corner 3. Good. 3 points. 7 seconds into the game. The crowd exploded. New Zealand's coach got up from the bench, not upset, but worried, because it had looked way too easy. The next trip down was even worse. Clark dribbled near the logo. Her defender paused for just a moment. That was enough. Clark rose up from far beyond the arc, around 30 feet out. Clean shot.
Team USA finally puts Caitlin Clark into the starting lineup. However, everything that glitters ain't gold. Remember last season we saw lineups with Ari McDonald at the 1, Kelsey Mitchell at the 2, Caitlin Clark at the 3. Yeah, Caitlin Clark was playing the 3. Caitlin Clark off ball, screening, relegated to a screener. Yeah, that's how the game started out. But if you held on long enough, if you held on long enough and waited till the fourth quarter, we finally got what we've been asking for, Caitlin Clark at the 1, Paige at the 2, Ray Burrell at the 3, Monique Billings, Kiki Iriafin rounding out that lineup, and the offense ran through Caitlin Clark. There is no if.
The noise in the arena burst even louder. Even players on the bench were laughing in shock because that shot looked far too easy for her. Now the whole court was open. She attacked the defense right away. 2 defenders rushed toward her in traffic. Another layup. 6 assists. Just like that, the score kept rising, 10-2, 16-8, and New Zealand looked frustrated because nothing they tried was working. At the same time, Clark sat on the bench calmly, sipping water. No big reaction, no talking, just locked in. And that quiet confidence may have been the scariest part because she looked like she already knew what was about to happen.
51 points and 25 assists. And today she had 14 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Leads all players through 4 games. The most points and the most assists. And the most efficient of them all as well. Like I was saying earlier, Caitlin Clark finally thrust into the starting lineup. Monique Billings, Caitlin Clark, Chelsea Gray, Dearica Hamby, Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray with Caitlin Clark? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. That ain't it, coach. That ain't it, coach. We got to switch this up. Something needs to change here. Of course, people are finally excited about that. The universe is in alignment now. Cece is starting. Can we please put Paige in this group and take Gray off? Her pace is too slow. This is a terrible lineup. Why start 3 guards? Why start 3 guards? Absolutely. And it's been a rotating lineup. So why are we just sticking with Chelsea Gray in the starting lineup? I don't know. Politics, perhaps? CC hitting the bigs and another midi. Let's take a look right over here. Whoop. Caitlin Clark, nice pass to Monique Billings. Monique finishes at the hoop. And again, people continue to say Caitlin Clark has no mid-range.
When the game started again, the run kept going. Clark began picking apart the defense like someone always one step ahead. She pulled defenders out near half court, then attacked the space they left behind. Another deep three. Good. The crowd was back on its feet. The defender turned toward the coach with the same question everyone had in mind. How do you stop that? The truth is, you do not. By halftime, the scoreboard already looked ugly. But the hardest part for New Zealand was still coming because the third quarter turned into something else entirely. Something that felt less like a game and more like total control. Clark stepped into another deep three. Swish. On the next trip, she drove into the lane and fired a pass to a teammate cutting under the basket. Layup. Assist number 5.
And of course, even early on in the first quarter, Caitlin Clark pulling up from deep. Crosses half court. Rejects the screen from Monique Billings. Step back, pull up. Bang. Now, Caitlin Clark today from 3, 2 for 7 from 3. Missed a couple open opportunities. This could have been a 20-point game. Very easily, Caitlin Clark could have dropped 20. 6 for 11, 2 for 7 from 3, 14 points, 6 assists. Easily could have dropped 20 if she hits those 2 threes. Stand out in particular. I think it was the first play of the game. She had a nice look at the three-point shot. And then somewhere in the fourth quarter, she had another very solid look at a three-pointer. Ended up missing them, but still 14-6, solid stat line. Ryan Howard came alive after game 1 as well. 18 points for Ryan Howard. Paige Becker, 7 points for Paige, 3 for 8, 2 for 5 from 3, 1 for 3 from the three-point line for Paige Beckers. Chelsea Gray, 5 points, 5 assists in 15 minutes. No Ka Copper today. I wonder if Ka Copper is working through an injury. Why didn't she play? I am curious as to why Ka Copper didn't play at all. But look at this here. We got Kelsey Plum skipping. This is what I wanted to show you, though. Of course, Kelsey Plum is going to pass back to, I believe that's Chelsea Gray over there. But look at Caitlin Clark on the top of your screen. And then look who I believe is either Kiki Irifin or Monique Billings.
Then she made the whole arena gasp. Clark crossed half court. The defense moved up. She paused for a split second, then fired from almost the logo. The ball hung in the air. Everything went quiet for a moment, then splash. Even the commentators started laughing because by then it just felt unfair. The New Zealand players looked drained, not in their bodies, but in their minds. Every change they made on defense, Clark had already seen coming. She controlled the tempo. She controlled the spacing. She controlled the entire flow of the game. By the time she checked out, it was already over. Clark had only played limited minutes, but that was more than enough to change everything. The lead was huge. Fans stayed on their feet, still cheering, still trying to understand what they had just seen. On the other side, New Zealand sat quietly on the bench, some staring at the floor, others at the scoreboard, because they had just faced something completely new. Not only a gifted player, not only a great night, but someone who could reshape an entire game around herself. And when the final buzzer sounded, one thought spread through the building. This was not only a win. It was a glimpse of what happens when Caitlin Clark is fully unleashed. Because if she can do this in one night, just imagine what comes next.